Welcome to day 496. Our audio going. Testing 1, 2. All right, testing 1, 2. There we go. There we go. All right, welcome to day 496 of the journey begins. We've got our cold brew ready. We're over in Inkwood, and we are working on. And welcome in. I'm Beardo. All right, so we are working on a ravine, so we're just leveling out this area, taking it down to bedrock. Well, what else to say? And our other streamer in the other ear is Quack the Duck over Twitch. Welcome in Lucas and Oreo Yo-Yo and Lynn. We are live on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. We are trying to get to 300 followers on TikTok and affiliate on YouTube. Welcome in Alexander and all right. So let's just go back and forth. That's most of our intro out of the way. Inkwood is the second city in our story that we're trying to tell. So all of our building now has purpose. It's all should be adding to the story. So all the builds are story driven. Even a small shop should have purpose, even if it's its own story or adding to the world building. So everything that we're doing should connect to something else in the story, at least within the realm that it's in. So it's kind of why we divided it up into 10 realms, so that we can tell continuations of a story within a realm. We can have realms kind of do related stories, or be aware of each other, but it allows different characters to be introduced more easily. So for now, we're just focusing on the third realm here. From Inkwood, we need to work on our portal to Gold Temple, which I think will be around, since it's actually, the back of Inkwood, where that portal will be, closer to the desert area where the Garden Temple starts. I think that will actually be pretty close to our Wither Skeleton farm in the Nether, so I don't think we'll have to go too far. Which kind of works out because we have a portal in Inkwood that is on the edge of the Wither Skeleton farm that will be a controlled tunnel to the Inkwood library. So a really large complex there. And then I guess on the other end of that farm, we'll be able to have a controlled tunnel to the Gold Temple, and then from the Gold Temple, we'll just have a regular road over to Oasis City. And then Oasis City is going to have a portal that links, I guess, back to somewhere close to... okay. Oh, we need to sleep. Somewhere close to... the gold temple. Or the entrance to the gold temple, the portal on this side. Because after Oasis City, we'll be going to the Garden Temple and then over to Potter's Bay. Because I think it's such a large, the Garden Temple is such a large build that I think going to Oasis City and learning something there about its size and that you could go around, but having some kind of event that puts like a time clock on it. So the month or something in world that it would take to in the story world that it would take to go around isn't feasible. So you have to go through, introduce some dangers there, and then move along to. Oh well, thanks for being here. So yeah, that's the idea with that. Oh yeah, well, making it through the Garden Temple that heads over to Potter's Bay. Learn something there that leads to they hopefully I'm close in the pronunciation there. Welcome in. How's it going? Potter's Bay would provide the information to one of the sunken cities. Hey Miller Pride, how's it going? Welcome back. How's the weekend been going so far? And yeah, so Potter's Bay will give the information for the sunken city. We'll head there. Have some things happen there, and then do escape, and that will be the end of part 1 of that story. So far, so good. Just getting started here, working on digging out more of the ravine, and I think it's coming along. It's going to be a process. I don't know about slow, but it's going to take a while. Alright, let's go up here. We're working on the ravine now, but it'd be a little... Okay. Here we go. Be a little bit easier to see from up here. Getting a little better at that. The stair steps aren't staying, that's just so we have a little easier way to get up once we get down to some there. And we'll go look in a second at a hole we're doing, but we're taking everything between the cobblestone borders down to bedrock, and that's going to be a ravine around this area here, which is going to be the town of Inkwood. And then we'll do some kind of like rope one-person bridge across the back, and that will continue the story off into the desert area. So we got a couple houses in the back that will expand forward a little bit. This is going to be like a goods depot. Under this hill here, we are going to do a decorative well that will have a portal that will go to the Inkwood Library, which is over 10,000 blocks away. It's going to be a massive library project. So kind of a, don't judge a book by its cover kind of metaphor, I guess. The city has a lot more than meets the eye. But that's what we're working on so far. So we're going to take it down to bedrock on 3 sides. So we're going to probably take out some of these islands just so the water is more continuous along the back, and we'll make that kind of a giant lake feature. And then we'll have a waterfall on each side, kind of where it intersects the walls. And then that's going to feed into this ravine that's going to go around the 3 sides. And then the front entrance is going to be... This is going to be a bridge that's going to extend all the way over and be more, you know, decorative and less plain. But for now, we're getting the functional pieces out of the way and getting things framed up. So we're intentionally going slow and getting all of the projects framed up. And then we'll kind of bounce between them depending on my mood or whatever community wants once we get a bit bigger. But that's the plan. That's what we're building so far. And we'll show 2 other things related to what we've been so far with the ravine. If we can see it from here, maybe? Yeah, so the scaffolding. That hole there goes down to deep slate level. And then from there, there's another smaller hole that goes down to bedrock. And we have our spirit account saved down there. So whenever we're off stream, we just throw down a few torches to it and just have it run around being chased by mobs as it's putting down torches until they catch it and respawns and goes back down and does it again. And eventually we'll have it all lit up down there so that as we dig down, we won't have to worry about mobs once we get down to bedrock. But the other thing we wanted to show is we also started using the spirit account to do some borehole digging. So there's a lava column there. And we'll probably add something in between as well. But there's another one up here. And the purpose of that is we'll dig a couple more of these on each side, you know, maybe 5, 10 on each side. And that way, as we're getting down to bedrock, lighting things up down there and then digging this down, we'll have like a visual of where the wall of Inkwood is down in the lower levels. I mean, we'll have an idea as we dig down, but as we're digging down, this will help. So if we get caught in any chambers down there, or as we're lighting things up, we'll be able to see where that goes. So that's an idea that we had to kind of test out and see how that helps us work from both ends vertically. I mean, I guess could do something along like coordinates, but that'd give us a visual in-game thing that we can work with. And the other advantage is that once we get down there and we pour water down it, we can have like a cobblestone wall there as well. And so that's, yeah, that's our project so far, or our sub-project, I guess, a piece of Inkwood. Oh, that's just that, okay. Yeah, and we have most of that tracked in ClickUp, but we need to spend some time one of these days and reevaluate all the projects we have and what phase that they're in. And we can hop around between phases, like we mentioned, depending on the mood and whatnot, but at least having it in there helps give some structure. So even though everything is story-based as far as builds, the order that we build things can help other things take shape or be built faster or with more detail. You know, take anything off. Okay, good. If we need frog lights or sea lanterns or something, having one of the builds that would make those farms more feasible or bring them into the story would then help other builds that need those materials. So that's the plan. That's the idea as far as choosing what we're working on. So we need a lot of dirt and we need a lot of stone. So doing this ravine is a resource positive project. So we'll get tons of resources out of this, and then we can put it into resource negative projects like the foundation of Haven's End. Because we still need probably 100,000 stone blocks so that we can turn them into slabs. Because we needed a million slabs, so 500,000 blocks. So balancing out our resource positive and resource negative projects is helpful. Oop. Although we do need to remember to put things away so we can pick up new things. There, okay, and then we'll do torches. Okay. Let's go pick up our materials and then do we have sheep? I think we have sheep. We might want to build a bed out here just to make it easier. But we'd have to move it periodically as well, so maybe not. That would be hard, but I don't want a creeper blowing up our bed and something. Okay. Which is actually how Overmorrow came to be. Haven's End was already in the works, but we weren't really gonna do anything much with spawn. We're gonna build everything far away from it. But two or three times we had we were traveling distances and using beds to kind of reset so we'd be close to where we were in case anything happened, and something happened and the bed was also a victim, and we ended up getting sent back to spawn, and it was a challenge a couple times to get back to where we were. Hello, Aphrodite. How's it going? Welcome back. How's the weekend going? Okay, there we go. So yes, that's how Overmorrow came to be. So we decided that since it was at origin, at spawn, and Haven's End was already extending that far, we built a portal at the other end of Haven's End, so at 0, 0 there, so it would take us to Overmorrow, and then we would just build a portal there, and that portal would then let us okay. Oh, yeah, that portal would let us go from Overmorrow into Haven's End, and we could just go to the other end of Haven's End to get back to, Barter's Bay or the Gold Temple or wherever we needed to go. So we haven't had that glitch happen. Backing up, a couple times it was because our bed got blown up, but a couple times it was we would spawn in and the game would kind of hang for a second and forget where we were and would send us to, it looked like coordinates that were run through the nether, and then decided that wasn't where it needed to put us, and then tried to do some kind of weird conversion to the overworld. It wasn't like we were 10,000 blocks away, but we were not where we were supposed to be. So that's what led us to doing that portal, so that we could move around a little bit easier whenever we got sent back to spawn. that's a little bit of the fourth wall history of Overmorrow. So now if anything happens to a bed, or we get some kind of glitch that spawns us at spawn, at world spawn, we have Overmorrow there, so we have resources to get food. There's some armor there, or there will be. I mean, we haven't dropped off a whole lot there, but ender chests, so reduce the friction of getting going again, or getting back to wherever we were. That's been going pretty well. And okay, there we go. That. Yeah, we'll shovel out some dirt here. And do we do that? Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Once we get down to bedrock, we might need to be a little bit more careful. And I think once we do, oh, not bedrock, once we get down to deep slate, then we can probably use a stack of TNT, because we won't have to use so much to get down to it. We can just use a few TNT blocks to strategically blow holes in the deep slate and see where we're going to end up. Below it, see if we're above one of the caverns down there or not, and inform our mining that way. And that will help us avoid danger, at least hopefully. And our story is coming along. I think we're hopefully going to get the outline for chapter 15 done today. And then kind of take a step back and see what we can do to kind of take broader strokes at our outline and get more of that figured out. Because we have an idea of where we want it to end in book 1, what we mentioned earlier. Well, thank you for the like, Tico. Appreciate it. And welcome in. But we need to have some things that happen along the way. So we need to make sure those things have enough detail, and there are enough of those, or maybe even a few extra, so that we can kind of edit some out if we need to, so that we can kind of guide the story and not have a lot of vague, empty tropes just guiding. I mean, some tropes are needed so that you you're not misguiding readers, so they're expecting something, they're getting kind of what they expect, but you can add in enough of a twist to make it interesting without making it an unpleasant experience. You're reading, fantasy, mystery, whatever, it makes sense to give people why they might be reading it. Like a mystery that gives you the who did it, why, and all that on, well, a mystery that doesn't have a mystery not be a good read for a mystery reader. So, some trope is needed, but it doesn't have to be over the top, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. And what we're trying to do to kind of speed up our outline and not not do as much of the enhanced outline that we have been doing, at least not in the first pass. Do more of a simple outline and then like enhance it as we go so that we have the more broad strokes to inform enhanced instead of we're not really doing discovery writing, but it's of the prose, but I guess it's a little discovery writing within the outline. I mean, we have an idea or basic idea of how the end should be, so we're kind of working towards that, but it's discovery outlining towards that goal, towards that ending. And yeah, do this. I don't know how quickly any of that will be done. And I would love for it to be done sooner rather than later, but it might be, at the rate we're going, it might be another 4 or 5 months before that's even ready for polish. But we will put that out there once we get it going. And same for the Builder's Journal, which would be in the same world, but a different story, and one that will be free. And so we'll probably promote that one as well regularly. Because that one will be an ongoing story that will want to figure out what kind of cadence that we can maintain. We don't want it to just be, we don't want it to be too haphazard. We want it to be kind of regular. So like every week might be too hard. Every month maybe we could do. So leaning towards every, like a monthly update or every 2 weeks. We'll have to kind of figure out that cadence as we go, but oh, thank you for the follow and thank you for the like, Owen. Appreciate it. And hoping everybody likes the, it's kind of low-key story-driven kind of stream. Say story-driven. I mean, that is the goal, but sometimes we're just talking about what we're building and not actually reading the story. But everything we're building is informed by the story we're trying to tell, or at least the story that's in my head. So if you stick around long enough, you'll see kind of the story unfold. And trying to be upfront about that, that it is a lower key chill stream, so you can watch, it can be a second monitor kind of stream, and if you're looking for like the higher energy streams, making sure that you know that this is not one of those and find what suits you. We do watch some that have a little more energy, so yeah, you can make some recommendation. Yeah, because everybody has their own taste, and we have a wide enough variety ourselves that if we're not your cup of tea, we might be able to help you find one. And if it is, you know, feel free to share this or our link tree, which is linktr.ee/mindtripmedia, that has this and all of our other projects there. Long way of saying we're happy and appreciate anyone that wants to be part of the community. And yeah, backseat gaming, any suggestions are welcome. I can't promise that I'll be able to follow everything, but there's no scolding for any of that in here. If you want to talk about your own Minecraft projects, Lego projects, food adventures, any of that kind of stuff is all fine as well. What's another thing that comes up? Oh, yeah, other languages are perfectly fine as well, as long as I can Google Translate them. So that is the caveat, that I will be slower to respond if it's not English. But as we get regulars that speak other languages, I'm happy to try to learn a little. Yeah. We try to be as open as possible and trying to keep like the rules and guidelines to a minimum for as long as possible, and keep it at a high level unless, you know, things happen. So we're still small enough that we haven't had a great deal of that yet. There we go. I think, I don't know about TikTok if we have that set up correctly or not, but I think Twitch doesn't allow links, or we have it set to not allow links. I think that's one of the only things we have going so far, but well, oh, a wolf went after sheep? It did. Welcome in, Baba, thank you for the like, appreciate it. Did we? Oh, we're full. Okay, so we need to drop off stuff. Right. There we go. And where's it? Oh, yeah, links, I think it was. Yeah, as we get regulars and figure out how to do it for each platform, we can add people to like approved list for sharing links. We're just keeping it welcome in, Kevin. Keeping it at off, having links off for now, because we've been getting a lot of kind of spam links, and those are easy enough to take care of with for now. But yeah, because we do want to you know, encourage sharing of projects that people are working on or information that might be helpful. We'll probably have like a short list of like shout out channels that we can have people choose from that would be approved to put in the chats, but limit self promotions to like a Discord channel once we have that going. Because we still want people to be able to kind of promote their creative side, whether it's Minecraft or something else. We just probably want to limit it to within the community initially, and then if something really stands out, then we can mention it on the stream. Or anyone else in the community that might also stream could mention it that way too. And same thing with like if you have servers that you want people to join, figuring out that kind of allowing that kind of thing. So maybe putting some kind of like time and engagement thing on it. So having a certain level of activity in the community and having been in the community for X period of time would allow people to promote their own servers, realms, whatnot. So that way people, I mean, I hope it wouldn't be an issue, but we wouldn't have people kind of spamming servers. I know some creators don't like that, but I don't see a problem with it. I don't need to have control of your server as long as it would be just outlined in the guidelines of Discord that if you join someone else's server, it's kind of at your own risk. But if it's a good, community, you should, well, on the time limit and engagement, you should have an idea of who you're joining a server with, so hopefully that would help. Anyway, that's my, not really a soapbox, that's my brain dump on that idea. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go through, see if we can level this off, and then square this up, I guess, and then see how far we can get. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to sleep more at night, because as we get the ravine down, the torchlight isn't going to expand to the middle everywhere. And the other thing I guess we're doing with this is we're trying to focus on some of these projects like the ravine for a period of time. Even if we work on other things, trying to make sure that we spend enough time on that, especially towards the closing of streams, so that at the end of streams we can clip it, and we're adding all of those clips to a folder that will eventually run through like DaVinci Resolve and make some shorts, clips, longer clips, like combining them together, time-lapse clips, and maybe even some GIF kind of things to show the time-lapse of it. Kind of a core version of replay mod. I think that's the mod that's used. Yeah, Pixel. I think Pixel refuses that. Which the Spawn Chunks is one of the podcasts that we listen to regularly with Pixverse and Joel Duggan. So highly recommend that. And I think it's been a replay mod has been brought up, but we can't use that on Survival Bedrock. So our way around that is doing a project like this for a long enough period of time in a day that we can then go up to like an observation tower, do a little, well, either a 360 or a little sweep of whatever we're working on, and then gather all of those clips together and create some kind of video out of it. But it won't be as dynamic. You can't move through it to kind of get the angles that you want. But it'd be close enough for a like top-down time lapse. Although, and one idea that we did have is doing rigs like the observation tower, the clock tower off to our right there. Setting it up like that, you can't fall out from the side. If you're facing this direction, there's a ladder in there, so you can't fall off the side if you're facing this way. But it slows your descent, so somewhere I want to put that in and do like a slow drop of maybe looking at something, maybe at the library or something, and having it come into view. And then we could reverse the clip so it looks like we're, going up, because while we're climbing up it, I think it would be harder to get the clip, because it's easier to like fall down than it is. Well, I guess we could do that, but it's a little bit more dangerous in case we fall off. But we could try it either way. We could either reverse it or try that. But point being, I think we could get a little bit more like cinematic effects. I don't know what the proper name for that is. If anyone is in the film industry, what that kind of rig would be called, but something like that. Kind of like the, not a gimbal, but little camera rails that indicate mini train kind of thing. The kind of thing that they do to get smooth circular shots. Although the name for that escapes me at the moment, and I don't know if that's the right term anyway, but you get the idea. Trying to do creative camera tricks within a Bedrock survival world. I mean, some things when they're done, we could do through our creative copy. So every 6 months we take a backup, and then we duplicate that. So we have a survival backup, and then the second backup we turn into a creative world, so we can test out like textures or redstone contraptions, or just scouting how close this actually will feel to this other place and things like that. All right, so there we go. Did we? Okay, so we're going to cut through over here, and then we're going to go. Yeah, so we'll step it down as well, I guess. And then get rid of the steps. But we also need to get rid of this. And this, oh yeah, I guess if we get this all the way down to bedrock, it should get enough light down there that it should help with mobs too. But lighting it up down there will help us also keep mobs at bay as we get closer, and seeing where dripstone is, because there's also a small, well, at least we discovered a small piece of a dripstone cave. I don't think it's a lush cave, but definitely some stalagmites and stalactites down there. And falling on one of those would not be good. Or having one fall on us would be equally bad. Alright, so let's yeah, we probably need like a silk touch shovel for this. Wait, can we? I don't know. Guess we can combine clay balls back together. It just means that we'll get a lot of them though, so I don't know if it's the most efficient use. Probably want a... Oh. Oh, so we could put have anything on our shovel. Breaking, mending, efficiency. So we don't have fortune or silk touch. So we need one of those on here. Which one did I want? I'm thinking silk touch would probably be pretty good on the shovel. Because then we can have just a regular shovel to get flint when we need it. We don't often need straight up dirt. We usually want the grass. But same thing there. And then if we need a plant on it, we would use the hoe anyway. So it doesn't need to be dirt before we do that. So probably silk touch would work. And then make a second shovel that we keep. Actually, we need to check our ender chest. We might have one. But we need to make this one silk touch. If we don't have a silk touch already. Basically the opposite. If we have another shovel in our ender box, make this one the opposite of whatever that is. Right. Yeah, if we could fast mine with the carrot, that would be interesting. All right. 48 minutes, okay. So yeah, we'll do another 15-20 minutes. Our tools are still in pretty good shape. We're not going to do a lot of digging, but we're mostly in the stone layer now. Alright. I think we can probably clear away this area around the stairs. That probably won't take 15 minutes though. We'll do that and then we'll evaluate how much time we have left. That'd be our plan. Which once we do hit 300 followers on TikTok or make affiliate on Twitch, whichever comes first, I'll shoot for 2-hour streams twice a week. So more than likely on weekends. Because unless we have a sudden surge of success, we'll have to cut back our weekday streams at some point. Cut back and then also move to afternoons Pacific time. So we'll have to cross that block when we get there, but yeah. Right. Almost there. What? Get this piece of dirt. Okay, good. We're getting all of that. Getting all of that. Okay. That's good. Yeah. So we do have a lot of dirt here, but once this is gone, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of, well, we'll have gravel could be a lot lower too. We can have gravel pretty far down. But there should be less gravel than there is dirt up here, so our shovel should last longer once we repair it. Alright, so It's going faster than we thought, so 15-20 minutes we're gonna get a lot more done. I guess you can get, you know, 1,000 or more blocks and that kind of thing. Welcome in bad at Roblox. Which I know of that, but I've never actually played it. Oh, so we're gonna have to see if we have any space here. Drop off all of this. Okay. We can take some food with us. What else can we do? Yeah, that's probably gonna be it. Oh no, wool. We can take wool because it won't hurt to have an extra bed. I mean, we have some sheep in Inkwood, but alright, so we're just gonna have to grab what little dirt we can here that we missed. Probably a few of them are gonna be left behind. And sleep and do a little bit more. Ready for... Okay. Do I have any trapdoors? Wait. Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't have a bed. But oak. Trapdoor do we want? Spruce. I don't think we have any of the others. Oh, brown wool. So let's put that over here. And, somewhere. Oh, there it is. Or white wool. The woolen one. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so we'll do oak trapdoor. Here. Okay. Oh, put our oak back. Well, I guess we didn't need all of this, but it's okay. There we go. Oh, put our sand. Okay. Yeah, so we can walk over a little bit easier. We can see the water. With the water ones, I like being able to see it down there versus using, I guess, the spruce and having it kind of covered up. Right. Yeah, I guess we can, this would be a good goal. So if we take this side. Alright, so yeah, okay. This is against the wall, so alright, so All right, so yeah, we'll get rid of this little piece here that's sticking up, and that should get us pretty close to having this section leveled off. Maybe, oh, maybe we'll do some of that too. Okay. Yeah, because we said we'd go a little bit over, so. And this is only going to take a few seconds. There we go. All right, so let's see how much of this we can get done in the time we have. Make sure that we don't run off the edge here, so we're getting a little buffer on the side here. All right. Oops, there we go. Oh yeah, and we have Quack the Duck over on Twitch in our other ear. And they're doing a cooking stream right now over on Twitch. And they dropped a pan or set down a pan. And it sounded close enough to a tool break. It scared me for a second and thought I broke my shovel. I don't know if that's the tool that Mojang would have used for the Foley for that. Is it called Foley? Foley Artist does that kind of thing, so I don't know if the actual sound is called Foley or not. If anyone in chat is aware of that, you know, that's the kind of thing, feel free to chime in. Another reason for the chill streams is that it doesn't have to just be the story. We can learn fun random facts. Right. Yeah, walking backwards is why we needed that extra space. That we didn't fall off the edge. Granted, I don't think it would have done too much damage. Well, at least not at this height. Even a little farther down, we would have fell there, so the fall damage would have been terrible. But nonetheless, something we want to avoid. I think with we're at an hour now, and we're going to do a little extra. I think we'll take care of this section here. Right? Yeah. We'll do what's in front of the, or what's beside the steps too, but this little layer in front of it is what we're going to focus on for the moment. Tools are getting worn down enough that we probably are going to have to go over to Overmorrow to top things up, so we might have to fly over there for stream end. It just makes it easier when we do mending off stream that way. Right. Sit here. Okay. Well, this is something we can top up tomorrow, getting rid of all of this stuff. Did we? Sand is not something we want to lose, so let's offload all of this extra resource here and then go get. And this is why, like, I think allays were a good addition to the game. Like anything added, I think would be good as long as it doesn't take away from something else. The yes and approach. But the reason that I don't have them and not as big a fan of them is the range on them isn't kind of what we need. Like, I don't think they would be able to do all of Inkwood. And so I would have to move their block too frequently to get them to pick up the resources and drop it off. But if there were something that were easier to move around, I would do that. Or if the allays had a feature where, I don't know, you could construct an enhanced, what is it, jukebox? Like the way that you can make a blast furnace from a furnace. If they had something like that where you could create an allay nest inside the jukebox, you know, like combining the idea of a beehive and jukebox. And then you could have, I don't know, 2 or 3 allays in it, and you just plop it down and then add some kind of redstone thing to it. That might be a little bit better. Like an easier way to kind of transport the allays and get things down. So kind of like a beacon. Like a beacon takes a lot of work to get, but once you get it, it's at least a little bit easier to place down and get the effects. And yeah, so I think I would use it more if something like that were implemented. Like it wouldn't have to be the beehive jukebox idea, but something that made it more, put a little bit more effort in up front, but once you get it, it's really easy to use after that. At least for these kind of builds, when it's a larger build, it takes a lot more effort to move around, things like that are just kind of fun like farm ideas. Like they would be great for farms, but they're not great for getting large non-farm projects built. Right, so let's see if we can get these two to go after each other. Okay, so those two will take care of each other. Let's watch the action. Okay, and then let's go sleep. Make sure there are no zombies behind us. Yeah, so we should be able to sleep before they come through. They'll be under nature's fire once daylight comes. Okay. Okay. Up this stone, and we're pretty good there. Okay, good, good, good. And now we'll do this side. Down to 59. Which is, what, 54 before we start hitting bedrock, give or take? Not bedrock, deep slate. Used to be bedrock. Go get a little more of this out of the way. And go. There we go. Okay, so now we need another stair step here. All right, and then we'll do that, and then we'll put it along the side. So I think we'll take care of this little layer here next to the stairs. And I think we'll probably call our stream after that. We're at almost an hour and 10 minutes. So let's say take another 2 or 3 minutes maybe. And then we'll fly over to Overmorrow. And we'll go from there. So what, 2 more layers? 2 more pass-throughs? Oh, I think we're probably full on inventory. 2. Oh. Silk, and then we'll do some... Yeah, we need to do silk touch for our shovel. Or we need a silk touch shovel, so yeah, we need to confirm that. Because occasionally, like, fortune is handy if we need flint to light a fire. There might be other ways to get flint, I don't know. I feel like there has to be. So even if we didn't get rid of all the materials there, we still have enough space that we should be able to collect all of this. All right, so good. Oh, I think we have another. Well, we have space in the other chest that we put over here. So what we're trying to say. Yeah, and we have a merchant that sells halfway decent diamond tools in Barter's Bay. So we could always do a fortune pickaxe on that if we need. We're in dire need of flint. Could also use candles too, or torches. So if there's a stack of a stack of gravel, think of that. Yeah, if there's a stack of gravel, we could place the torch under it, and then when it falls, like some of it will generate flint and along with the gravel. So before we head over to Overmorrow, we're going to do our little 360 here. So what's our time? Say I'm gonna pause here and say 113 before we start moving. Sit here another 15 seconds. Stay still so that we know what we're doing. And get ready for our clip. And here we go. So at 13 seconds, we have our bridge. We can see what we carved out here. We haven't touched the sides yet. We haven't made it that far. We have this side of the ravine here. No work there yet. And then let's see here. We can see the stair stepping that we started to do. And then we're back to the bridge. Okay. That's at 113. We can clip that out. Where is, oh, that's the back of Inkwood. We want to go this way and follow the road. There we go. We need to fix that piece there, take that curve out, so we can stop talking about it. Alright, we should hit our, there it is. There's another one there, there's some more roads there, and a little structure there for going under the ocean here for our Jade Caravan route. I think it's going to curve a little bit to the right here. Stay under the ocean, so it should be coming up on the other end of that. So that, yep, there it is. And that means just to the left of it, we have our storyline coming out of Overmorrow. Looks like the terrain generator, or the renderer, because it would already be generated, is having a little trouble. So I think we'll do our sign out from on top of the paper farm. So thank you, Aphrodite, Miller, Prod, and Edoya for joining in, and everybody on Twitch as well. And thank you for the likes earlier. Didn't persist in chat, but do appreciate those. If you want to see more of what we're working on, you can check us out on Linktree. So linktr.ee/mindtripmedia. The link for that will be on our outro screen as well. That will have links to our VOD here, which is over on YouTube, along with our Mostly Lego build on YouTube, our TikTok here, our Twitch, Blue Sky, Pinterest, and any of our other online outlets and projects are there as well, if you want to check those out or share any of those. And tomorrow we're going to mend our tools if we haven't done it tonight, and head over back to Inkwood and continue working on the ravine. And we'll do that for the foreseeable future while we get some of the road and nether portal stuff in place, and then we'll work on the library and Golden Temple and Oasis City. Those will be the last kind of things we need to kind of frame out, and then we can start bouncing between the projects. And so with that, thank you again for joining day 496 of the journey begins, and we'll see you tomorrow when the journey continues. Have a good rest of your weekend.